for an afternoon, or in Danny's case, a night of shivers and terrors. I forgot how these teams looked. We downloaded just the scariest teams off of the EA custom store. Oh my goodness, they have bandana patterns in the end zone. Shoutouts to whoever made these. They are truly special.
Is that
that's the dude. It's a dude, man. I'm Antoine Joey 101. Here on our spooktacular edition of the 2KU Weekly Podcast is week 10 of the 2KU season. We're already in double digits. Danny V is with us. Pig Bear is with us. We're going to get started right away. How are you guys doing?
Good. I'm doing pretty alright. Very spooky today.
I got plans for the next upcoming weeks. I work on Wednesday. I'm hanging out with my buddies on Thursday. And I'm hanging out with my family Friday night for Halloween. Oh my god, the abbreviation is Mike. Sorry. Anyway, let's get things started. Our top stories of this week: Louisville, number 8 in the country, comes from behind to keep their perfect season alive en route to their national championship hopes. Georgia Tech, victorious in Chapel Hill, keeping pace in the ACC Coastal with Miami. Iowa State, they are 7-1 for the first time in school history with their win over number 20 Kansas. Wisconsin, beating number 16 Purdue, close in on a spot in the Big Ten championship. South Carolina, a new threat in the ACC Atlantic with a win over Maryland. And our round 2 of voting has begun, as well as round 1 in the MAC. The big takeaways: Lamar, Northwestern State, Johns Hopkins in, Abilene Christian, and Incarnate Word are out. But we'll talk more about that in depth as we get to it. We'll start with our game of the week. Rutgers was the one controlling the flow of the game early, but Louisville comes from behind and staves off a comeback win for the Scarlet Knights with a clinching interception in the end zone to win 25-21. The Cardinals are now 8-0, as we've seen unbeaten teams drop like flies so far. Louisville's closing in. They might be one of the best teams in the nation. Danny?
Yeah, Louisville is definitely a contender in the Big East and possibly for a BCS spot. Rutgers, they do have a little bit some opportunities, especially this week, but good job, Louisville.
Pig Bear?
Louisville put themselves in the driver's seat with this one here. I think having them in this position will go far into making their national championship play.
Up next for the Scarlet Knights, it's not going to be easy. It's West Virginia at home. Meanwhile, Louisville heads to Memphis. On Friday, before the big games on Saturday, South Carolina gets a 38-36 win at home over Maryland, improving to 5-3 and keeping pace in that division. We thought Maryland was going to be that next team up, but now with this win, it might be South Carolina. Danny?
Yeah, South Carolina was definitely a big contender, a little dark horse, and they came out and they proved it against Maryland. So now they've got a battle against Clemson for that top spot.
Pig Bear?
Yeah, South Carolina has really reinvented themselves as a team over the past couple of years, and the fact that the Atlantic might run down to that last day of the season is insane to say.
Meanwhile, let's head to Saturday. Other side of the conference, Georgia Tech 24-8 over North Carolina in Chapel Hill. Number 12 Yellow Jackets beating the number 24 Tar Heels in one of our few ranked matchups of Week 9. Tech looked very much in trouble after they dropped 2 in a row to Clemson and Miami, but the win over North Carolina is good to keep them on pace. But they're going to need some help now. Miami is still in the driver's seat, and their only loss is out of conference. Danny?
Yeah, definitely. I do think Miami might be the one to take this division, but you just got to hope and see how the games go.
Big Bear?
Yeah, Miami has a game in hand over Georgia Tech, but Miami's been known to drop where they shouldn't. I still think Tech's definitely alive in this race.
Now we move to the Big 12, which is wide open for the taking, and 2 of the top teams we're facing off this week. What are we doing? 63 yards. Iowa State, number 14 in the country, getting a 23-20 win as that one sails through. 63 yards, I believe, on the kick or on the field goal from the logo, and he's got it. As I was saying, number 14, Iowa State, 23-20 over number 20, Kansas. Iowa State 7-1 for the first time in team history, and currently tied with Texas on top of the Big 12 standings. Iowa State is a team that had been a doormat for years, but now looks to be a true contender in the Big 12. What are your thoughts, Danny?
Yeah, definitely. I do think that this helps make the Big 12 a little bit more diverse in their standings. So I do think it's still going to be Texas against Iowa State in Arlington later on. So
Big Bear?
Iowa State's really, again, another team that's reinvented themselves with the past couple years. They're a contender, and I think they've got a path to Arlington. I'm not sure they'll do it, but they've got a path, I'd say.
Keep an eye out, though. They have a tough matchup coming up. They play Texas in a few weeks. Ohio State, 33-10 over Minnesota. The Buckeyes, 5-2. Their championship ambitions are very much are not. Their national championship ambitions are gone. However, the Big Ten is still within reach for certain. They head to Happy Valley to take on Penn State coming up. Actually, they host the Lions in Columbus. Shoe's going to be rocking for a rivalry matchup that they're expected to win. And the Buckeyes might try and fight their way into the championship till the very last moment. Danny?
yeah, Ohio State, they're definitely still a possible contender. There's still, of course, the grand old hope of Michigan. So, and of course, Wisconsin is still a big contender in the conference. So, we got to see how it all's going to look out for the Buckeyes soon.
Mm-hmm. Pig Bear?
Yeah, the Big Ten's another conference that's just wide open, and we'll see what happens.
To the Big 12 once again. Texas Tech, number 15 in the country, with a 28-6 win in Dallas over SMU. The Red Raiders are 6-1, keeping up their win streaks. One of the most dominant win streaks in the Big 12 right now. I like Tech making it to the conference championship eventually. Danny?
Yeah, definitely the Big 12. Despite their two top teams already kind of being there, I do think there's still a lot of diversity and potential in this conference. So who knows what will happen to the Red Raiders? Golden Tortillas.
Rhythm Tortillas. While I'm going to ask Pig Bear, why don't we check if Iowa State-Texas matchup is in Ames or Austin?
Yeah.
Speaking of Austin, Pig Bear, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
It's the Chaos Conference. We don't know who's going to win. And, yeah.
It's in Ames.
It's in Ames.
Can I get a script?
I think I need... Yeah, I think I did forget to send that to you guys. My apologies. Purdue started the season off white hot at 6-0. They've dropped their last two to Michigan State last week and now to Wisconsin. The Badgers getting a 17-7 win at home. That'll help them right their ship as they try to find their way into the conference championship. However, Purdue, it seems to be slipping. What are your thoughts, Danny?
Yeah, Purdue, they did have a lot of big hopes at the start season. Touchdown for the dudes.
The dude man.
But yeah, but it definitely does help Wisconsin, who was kind of reeling after their Michigan loss and then dropping out of the top 25. So it does definitely help them. And for Purdue, let's hope they could get a win somewhere to help right themselves.
Big Bear?
Yeah, Purdue, get another win will just help this team out overall.
Over to Salt Lake City, Washington, 46-24. The number 2 Huskies have been crushing everybody so far as they, or pardon me, that's the number 3 Huskies, I believe. But Washington's been crushing everybody so far. They get a dominant win over the Utes in order to improve to 8-0. The only other time they've been 8-0 entering this point in the season, they only won the whole national championship over 30 years ago. How good are the Huskies, and do you think they're the ones to be playing for a national championship, Danny?
Yeah, I definitely do think that Washington does have a chance. They still need some things to go their way, like, for example, LSU to lose, and maybe like Michigan or maybe even Clemson to lose for them to even have a chance to getting in. But they still have a good road ahead, much easier road ahead compared to other teams.
Remember, 2KU, only the top 2 make it in. We've never had it where an unbeaten team gets left out of the national championship, but there's certainly places for teams to slip up. You got Michigan playing Ohio State, as well as having to play the the conference championship right after. Washington still has some tricky games down the stretch, including, should the standings hold, either USC or Oregon in that conference championship game. Clemson has a really tough final stretch against Maryland and South Carolina. And LSU has some deceptively tricky games, including the SEC championship against what will likely be a one-loss team one way or another, or coming up this week against Ole Miss. Pig Bear, Washington, Utah, your thoughts?
Well, Washington is the second best team in the country, in my opinion. They're the most proven overall, and yeah.
Oh, look at this deep bomb. Bam!
They've got a fairly easy
Touchdown
route.
for the dudes.
For the national championship, because I don't think there will be no way there's only one undefeated team. Yeah.
Oregon, meanwhile, I just mentioned them as contenders in the Pac-12. They got another win, 49-31 in Pullman over Washington State. The Ducks are 7-1. I think they have a path lined up for them to make the conference championship, and all they really need is one slip up by either Washington or USC. And I think they catapult themselves into that spot. And there are some opportunities still. USC is a tough stretch down the end here. What are your thoughts on this Oregon-Washington State matchup, and is Oregon still alive in the chase?
Yeah, I definitely do think that the Ducks are still alive in the Pac-12. You know, despite losing to Washington in this season, they just need like USC to like slip up, and then they could easily make it in. So they still have a great chance of making it in, and if not, then they could possibly go to a BCS bowl.
I think national ambition is still not out for the Ducks. If there's a one-loss team that's making the national championship, I think there's 2 options. It's either Alabama or it's going to be Oregon making it to the national championship. Pig Bear?
Yeah, Oregon, they've also got a path. They just need a little bit of chaos to go their way.
A quick mention of the Mountain West. New Mexico State improving to 6-2 with a win over the 6-1 Colin Payton Coyotes, who fall themselves to 6-2 after starting 6 wins and no losses. The Aggies are now in the conversation as a potential contender in the Mountain West. Right now, of course, Nevada hogging up all the attention, still undefeated through this point. But if there's a spoiler, could it be the Aggies or is it somebody else? Danny?
Yeah, I definitely do think that Colin Payne, they did have this was a good run, so they definitely did have a lot to compete for. New Mexico State, first year in the Mountain West, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So they've been performing really well in this conference. But of course, there's still the big bad wolf they have to battle against, and that wolf is in the wolf pack, located in Reno, Nevada.
They still have to play that might be a destination when it happens. We might head there.
Let's see. Let me just take a quick look at that.
Pig, your thoughts on this matchup?
Let me pull it up. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, New Mexico State, they've got a good path here, but Nevada's unbeaten. Nevada's 6-0 for a reason. So, again, let the chips fall where they may.
All right. Let's move on to our.
As a little update, Nevada does not play against New Mexico State in the regular season, so they might play each other in the conference
Oh,
championship game.
Oh yeah, I think there's some other teams to watch out for in that conversation. I think Wyoming is a real dangerous spoiler alert team. UNLV as well. That might be the toughest game left on Nevada's schedule. But as I was saying, going back to the polls, the second round of polls, coming from the Southland as well as 2 teams from the MAC voting on whether or not they'll be staying in FBS in 2026. We'll start with the two MAC schools who need 75% majority to confirm the move either way. Johns Hopkins got that no problem. 93% voting to stay. The Blue Jays are a football-only MAC member, at least until 2027. Their current move is unknown. It looks likely that they will become a full MAC member in 2027. But right now, they're just kind of waiting on what will happen there. Meanwhile, Duquesne, it's dead even, 50-50. The Dukes joined alongside Johns Hopkins 2 years ago. They are a football-only member and a full member of the A10. That might be the one thing holding them back if they want to stick around. They might have to end up becoming full members, which would mean leaving the A10. We'll have to see if they think that's worth it or not. Meanwhile, the Southland, we had 5 of the Southland's members who ended up not reaching a conclusion a few weeks ago in the first round of voting, so they're voting again here. They need a 66% majority in order to confirm the move. Any school still left without majority will be voting again on November 29th at the end of the year. Abilene Christian and Incarnate Word, they both voted only in the 30s in September. They ended up pushing all the way to a no. 2377 is the result for Abilene. 1486 is for Incarnate. They will both be FCS members come 2026. Meanwhile, an interesting turnaround now is Lamar. They voted 51-49 in September. They were very split. But now that Lamar, one of the best teams in the Southland this season, they are 94% yes. Same with Northwestern State. They're 88% yes. A 94-6, 88-20 respectively. Lamar, founding member, or at least a charter member in the of the Southland in the FBS. Northwestern State joined only a decade later in 1988. Abilene and Incarnate, relatively recent members. That probably explains their move. Meanwhile, though, one team still not decided in the Southland is Southeast Louisiana. They voted 41-59 after voting 55-45 in September. Going off the trends, I might expect Southeast Louisiana to vote enough push by the end of the year in order to leave FCS. That's my projection right now. We'll find out in late November. Same with Duquesne. Right now, my projection is I think Duquesne does stay. But I don't think it's going to be by that wide a margin. And they might be negotiating a way to be a football-only affiliate member of the MAC rather than a full-on member like Johns Hopkins plans to be. What are your thoughts on these results, Danny?
Yeah, I mean, for Abilene, Christian, and Incarnate Word, they've only been here for a few seasons, and they were kind of just expansion picks after the South, and they lost Louisiana Tech and Sam Houston and Stephen of Austin and in Central Arkansas. So these guys definitely do feel like they have at least a good fit going back down to the FCS with the other Southern members. Northwestern State, they do make sense because they were a constant contender. They're even still in the running for the title this season, and they've constantly made the bowl games. But Lamar's an interesting one because they haven't historically been good. Same thing with Southeastern Louisiana. They haven't been historically good, and if you look at Southeastern Louisiana, they only have 1 win this season, so definitely it's going to be hard. I'm at least happy John Hopkins is staying up in the FBS because I do kind of cheer for them, but they definitely look like they're trying to get to somewhere bigger, but I'm guessing the MAC might be just bigger than the Patriots. And Duquesne, they are at least 50-50. I'm thinking they are going to be in the FBS. I don't know in what level, where they're going to join like the American and stay in the A10 and the other sports, or try getting that deal of being a football only member in the MAC. So
That is
who
something also
knows?
to consider. With the A10 as well, with the American completely shaking up with the votes a few weeks ago. That there's a lot of wide open spots. There was a rumor potentially that the American would make a last ditch gamble and try and poach J-Hop and Duquesne away from the MAC. But right now that doesn't look very likely, seeing as J-Hop just announced their commitment to the MAC, at least for the short term. Duquesne, meanwhile, that might be likely. They might try and snatch them up. An interesting question to me now is, where do Lamar and Northwestern State go now that they're sticking around? It doesn't seem very likely that the Southland as a conference will be FBS in 2026. I'm expecting them more to end up. I'm expecting the conference brand to end up down in the next level, with a lot of their members moving there. As for their destination, you could link the Sun Belt, but it looks likely that that some of those SoCon members might be going there. The WAC, they're already looking elsewhere with members. They have 2 members coming in next year in Sacramento State and UC Davis, as well as potential future members like McNeese or Nichols, which we're still waiting on the confirmation there. Right now, it seems like an open book for Lamar and Northwestern State. My most recent projection, I had them independents in 2026, though I don't know what else would be. I actually didn't have Lamar in my projection staying in the FBS. I had Northwestern State, but not Lamar. Pig Bear, what are your thoughts on these results and the future for these schools?
I think Lamar kind of rushed the decision, but I do think they are an FBS member overall. I think they are a value member here, and they'll find a place. But I think Northwestern State is more built to stay up here.
Yeah. Ultimately, it's interesting what a season can do, because early polling was not very confident for Tarleton State either. And look at how good their season is. They got top 25 votes recently. First time in school history that they've been considered. They've only been here for a few years. And Tarleton's going bowling now. What a difference a turnaround can make. Northwestern State's going bowling. Lamar is a win away from bowling. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. We have only 2 more rounds of polls left. Coming up 2 weeks from now, November 8th, the SoCon and Missouri Valley have their second rounds of votes for any members who did not confirm a move before. And meanwhile, on the 29th of November, the final round of voting for any schools that have not yet reached a conclusion will take place. Speaking of the bowling, which we were talking about, you're saying?
Yeah, that I think another conference for possibly Lamar Northwestern State could be the Missouri Valley. They do have experience being in that area, with West Texas A&M being a member of the conference a while ago. So who knows?
That could be an interesting gamble for the Missouri Valley. We know they're losing quite a few members. And that's a perspective I had not thought of before. Them going back down south. It's very reminiscent of Centenary when they were a member of the Summit League as a non-football member. We'll see what happens moving forward. But as I was going to set up, we have a bunch of developments in bowling. Let's hand it off to Danny for those.
Yeah. So welcome back to the bowl show, where we got several teams who just clinched their bowls. The ACC.
The bowling alley.
Welcome to the bowling alley. There you go. Perfect.
I just had an idea.
Yeah, we have 4 teams out of the Atlantic Coast Conference who are going bowling. We got Clemson, Miami, North Carolina, and Georgia Tech, who just joined the list. There's no teams from the American who are going bowling just yet, but, well, as recording this, we already had our Tuesday night game, so one of them is definitely going up soon. Welcome in UMass. The Big East. It has 5 teams who are going bowling, which is the most out of any conference at this moment.
It's tied,
It has
technically.
Yeah, technically. It has Rutgers, Louisville, Temple, West Virginia, and Central Florida.
Whoa! Sorry, I thought I saw something funny. Continue.
Out of the Big Ten, we only have 3 teams who are going bowling. We got Purdue, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Out of the Big 12, we got 4 teams going bowling. We got Iowa State, Texas, Oklahoma, and Texas Tech. Out of the Conference USA, we have Texas State, UAB, and Marshall. No teams from the Ivy League are going bowling just yet. Out of the MAC, we got Western Michigan, who's going bowling, but hopefully some of their other mates could join up soon. Out of the Missouri Valley, we got Southern Illinois, Drake, and Missouri State, who all have clinched their bowls. The Mountain West, we got Nevada, Colin-Peden, and New Mexico State. Out of the Pac-12, we got 5 teams who are going bowling. The other conference that's tied for the most: USC, Washington, Oregon, Arizona State, and Boise State. Out of the SEC, we got 4 teams: LSU, Alabama, Georgia, and Arkansas. It's a little bit of a shocker to me. Out of the SoCon, we got 3 teams. We got William & Mary, Richmond, and Furman. The Southland, we got Northwestern State and McNeese, who are going bowling. The Sun Belt, you got only 2 teams who have clinched a bowl berth. You got Florida Atlantic and Appalachian State. Out of the WAC, you got 4 teams who already clinched their bowl spot. You got Tarleton State, North Texas, Pacific, and West Texas A&M. Out of the Independents, no teams have clinched their bowl game yet. Meanwhile, the teams who are outside of the bowling alley waiting for their chance to be called in, we got from the ACC, we got Maryland, South Carolina, and Virginia. Then in the American, we got Delaware, UGF, and, well, for now, UMass, but once you see the show next week, we're going to see UMass definitely clinch their berth. The Big East, just as one team just waiting outside in Georgetown. Big Ten's got 3 with Illinois, Michigan State, and Ohio State. The Big 12's got Kansas, SMU, and Nebraska. Conference USA has Southern Miss and UTSA, University of Texas San Antonio. The Ivy League has 2 teams waiting for their bowl spot. We got Columbia and Harvard, the 2 historic contenders. In the MAC, you got Miami of Ohio, Northern Illinois, and Central Michigan. The Missouri Valley, you got Youngstown State and North Dakota State. In the Mountain West, you got UNLV, Wyoming, and Hawaii waiting for their chance outside. The Pac-12, you got Oregon State, Cal, and Stanford. In the SEC, you got Florida, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Mississippi State. In the SoCon, you got VMI, who is waiting for their spot. The Southland has Lamar and Nichols. And the Sun Belt has Arkansas State and South Alabama. The WAC doesn't have any teams waiting outside, same thing with the Independents. Technically, UC Davis and Sacramento State can still make it in, but because of transfer rules, they need to have at least 7 wins to fully clinch up berth. And they're sitting at 5. Meanwhile, the teams who have been fully kicked out of the bowl game slot, we got St. John's from the American. You got Penn and Cornell in the Ivy. Western Illinois out of the Missouri Valley. The Pac-12 with UCLA. The SoCon with Wofford and Davidson. The Southland Conference with East Texas A&M. The Sun Belt with Georgia State. The WAC with Utah Tech. And finally, UTRGV just waiting out.
All right. Oh, I think the stream froze. Pardon us, some technical difficulties with the stream here. In the meantime, oh, we're back. I'm going to do a little different order today. We're going to talk about the top 25 now. Starting with our number 1 team in the country, Clemson, still undefeated, still number 1 on bye this week. Michigan coming off a bye at number 2. They have Indiana. Number 3, up 1 spot, is LSU. They head to Oxford to play Ole Miss. Meanwhile, number 4 is Washington, as they've traded spots back and forth the past few weeks. They head to UCLA their next game. Oregon. Number 5, the highest ranked 1-loss team. They host Utah this week. Remember what happened last year. USC, 7-0 at number 6. They are on bye. Number 7, up 1 spot, is Louisville. They head to Memphis for their next game. Number 8, swapping spots again with Louisville. Georgia, down 1. They head to Jacksonville to play the Florida Gators. Now, number 9, Alabama, also off bye, will head to Nashville to take on Vandy. And number 10, Texas, 6-1 with the win over Baylor. They head to Stillwater to play Oklahoma State. Ohio State, sitting at number 11, is up 2. They beat Minnesota. They host Penn State next week. Georgia Tech, number 24, North Carolina, they got the win over. They're on bye. Number 13, up 2, is Texas Tech. They host Texas A&M. What might be their toughest challenge so far. Nevada, up 4, into the top 15. They beat Eastern Washington. Now they are on bye. Down 5 spots for a reason I still am not sure is Miami. The Hurricanes were on bye. They head to Virginia Tech to take on the Hokies coming up. Up 4 spots, Texas State, which actually makes the Texas State Bobcats our biggest riser, as well as Miami our biggest faller this week. Texas State, number 17, they beat Kennesaw State at home. They head on the road on Friday to take on Sam Houston on Halloween. Returning to the top 25 all the way up to number 18 is Wisconsin, who, if we count in and out of the top 25, that would be our biggest riser. Whiskey beat Purdue. They are on bye. Down 1 spot, FAU, who is on bye this week. They take on Troy at home. Rutgers down 3 spots, now to number 20. The Scarlet Knights host West Virginia, who we'll talk about. Number 21, Nebraska. On bye last week, they play rival Oklahoma in Lincoln. Number 22, returning to the top 25, 6-2 UCF Knights. They beat UConn. The Knights are on bye. They've been kind of slingshotting in and out of the top 25, as have West Virginia, who are now number 23, off their bye. They head to Rutgers to take on the Scarlet Knights. Returning to top 25 as well as Boise State. They got the win over Utah State, and now they are on bye. Down 1 spot from last week to number 25, the 6-2 North Carolina Tar Heels lost to Georgia Tech. They host the Dave Show, or they head to Orlando to take on the Dave Show Truckers. We had 2 teams drop out. Purdue, after their loss to Wisconsin, they play Illinois. It's not getting easier for the Boilermakers. Meanwhile, Arizona State, they dropped out in spite of their win over Colorado State. They take on Fresno State in the Valley. Other teams receiving votes included Purdue, Arkansas, Arizona State, Florida, Kansas, Oklahoma, Michigan State, Tarleton, Temple, App State, UAB, Oregon State, Cullen Payton, Tennessee, North Texas, Stanford, Marshall, Utah, and Cincinnati. I do want to make a quick addendum there. Kansas also dropped out of the top 25 after their loss to Iowa State. They take on BYU in Provo. Pigberry, Danny, your thoughts on top 25?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great risers and great fallers. I do want to say that I at least want to give a good old welcome back to the 2KU. The CPU stats poll is officially up and running, and they even made their own polls.
Number 1 again.
Yep, they even made their own little poll, including ranking every single team in the top 25. So if you want, I could even talk about the 25 worst teams. That could be maybe a little fun.
We'll send that in the chat. I don't know what that would be qualified under, but we'll definitely
running
post.
based. It's mostly running based on like their records, how much their offense scored, how much defense have scored them, the point differential, and they're kind of like general spots in the rankings
Yeah.
historically.
We'll
And
talk
get
now.
the other team.
Yeah. Talk now about the conference standings. Looking at the power conference races, starting the ACC, the Atlantic, it's still Clemson's to lose, but South Carolina has been charging lately. They're 4-1 in conference. And that matchup to end the year, which I believe is in Columbia, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, it's in Clemson because it's separate. It's opposite of real life.
Okay. It is in Death
I
Valley.
do want to give a warning to people who are going to watch this game.
Content warning. Bad.
Field.
I think the field is too much for Danny's mic to handle. But yeah, while we're talking ACC, the Coastal's still a wide open race. Miami 4-0, they have the edge. Oh my goodness. It gets cut off by the track.
Oh gosh.
Had to make sure y'all expected some horrors since it's the Halloween episode. But yeah, right now, ACC, we'll try our best to keep focused. I think that stretch for Clemson, I think they lose one of those games, either to Maryland or South Carolina. I'm more inclined to say they're going to lose to Maryland and beat South Carolina at home. I think that's not going to be enough, though. I think Clemson wins the division. And I think they play Miami for the championship. Give me Clemson over Miami in the ACC, Danny.
Yeah, give me Clemson to play against Miami for the ACC title, and I'm going to take Clemson to win it.
All right, Pig Bear?
Give me Clemson winning out. Actually, no, it's 2KU. They'll find a way to disappoint. Give me Maryland winning. Give me South Carolina winning the division.
South Carolina winning the division. Do you have them play Miami?
I know what's coming. I've been playing Georgia Tech. I know what's coming. And reverse commentator curse.
Fair to have some sort of insurance in that way. By the way, coming up soon, we'll be able to have the scenarios for what each team needs to do to win the division. Work those out when we work out how we'll show
it
this.
would be it's easy. It's win out, and if you lose to Maryland, just beat South Carolina.
Yeah.
Because South Carolina's the tiebreaker over Maryland. So, if both teams win out, the division title's on the line. If Clemson loses to Maryland, the division title's on the line in the Palmetto Bowl.
All right. So now all of South Carolina are massive Terps fans all of a sudden.
Yeah.
We'll go to the Big East now. Rutgers now a step back again in the Big East North because Temple and West Virginia each have only one loss in conference. Both are 3-1. West Virginia plays Rutgers. Coming up. They also have a game against Temple. I believe that you win on Saturday and then you beat Temple, you have the division locked, I'm pretty sure. We'll have those scenarios worked out later. Louisville, meanwhile, in the South, leads it. There's still a matchup against UCF coming up. Technically, both South Florida and Cincinnati not out of it entirely, but they might be in a week or two's time. Right now, I like West Virginia to make it out of the division with the win. And I like Louisville to get it. I think UCF, they've shown some struggle against ranked opponents, namely that matchup against FAU still looms large over the Knights. They are undefeated in conference, but both their losses came out of conference to Dave Show and FAU. I don't think UCF wins the division. I like Louisville going unbeaten, and I like them beating West Virginia in the conference championship. Danny?
Yeah, I'm going to take Louisville to win the South. I think I'm going to have them playing against I think I'm going to have them playing against West Virginia for the title game, and I'm going to take Louisville to win it.
All right. Pig Bear?
Give me Louisville playing West Virginia.
All right. The Big Ten. Michigan in the driver's seat right now, sitting at number 1. They still have that big problem coming up ahead, though. That game against Ohio State in Columbus. There might be some implications in that, at least nationally. I could see Ohio State spoiling the Wolverines by getting the win and preventing them from a national title spot, most likely. But I don't think that's going to be the end of it. I think Michigan does get the loss, but they make the conference championship, and I have them playing and beating Wisconsin in it. Danny?
I do have Michigan playing against Wisconsin, but I'm going to get Wisconsin for the revenge against Michigan.
All right. Also coming up are still on the table. Purdue's not technically out of it. Neither is Indiana or Michigan State. Even Minnesota or Iowa are technically still in it. But going to be long shot choices there. Pig Bear?
Give me Michigan playing Wisconsin.
All right. The Big 12 we go. Iowa State, Texas, both sitting on top of the conference standings. You also have one loss in conference teams in Oklahoma, Texas A&M, and Texas Tech. SMU, Nebraska, BYU sitting on the outside looking in of that top pack. I like Texas to beat Iowa State on the road. I think they win that. I think they win their way into the conference championship game with one loss. And I like them playing Texas Tech. Tech's toughest games do not include Texas or Iowa State. So I think they managed to slip their way in because of that. And I think we have a one-loss matchup between two in-state former Southwest Conference opponents for the Big 12. Danny?
Yeah, I'm going to have a Iowa State against Texas. It's going to be a battle between Southwest Conference and Big 8. I think this is going to be a great matchup, and I think I'm going to take Texas to win this one.
I forgot to give that. I'm going to take Texas to win the conference as well. Pig Bear?
Give me Iowa State playing Texas. Give me Texas.
Sources say they may be back.
They might be. The Pac-12, still anyone's game. Washington and USC have the edge. They're undefeated. Oregon, 7-1, 4-1. Stanford, 4-1 in conference, and 5-2. They're still in it. As are the 6-1 Sun Devils. Utah still with a long shot chance, as is Boise State, Arizona, and Cal within spitting distance of it. I'm liking Washington making the conference championship, and I still like that hypothetical where they play against Oregon, who makes their way back in, and I think Oregon gets revenge and beats Washington in the conference championship game. Danny?
Yeah, I'm gonna have. This one might be a tough one. Yeah, we're talking about which conference again? Sorry.
Pac-12.
Brain fart. Pac-12. I'm gonna take Washington to be playing the championship. They have proven they are good enough to play with the top teams this season, so I think they definitely will make their spot there. And I think I'm gonna pick USC to also make their appearance. USC's had themselves a very workable and easy schedule, and I think USC will just cruise through to the Pac-12 title game, where they're going to lose to Washington.
Pig Bear?
Give me USC losing to Washington also.
Okay. Up next to the SEC. Georgia on top of the conference, unbeaten. They got that win over Bama. But they have their toughest test coming up against the third place in the conference in Florida. That's the closest thing to a home game Florida's going to have for a while. I could see Florida stealing this win over Georgia, should it come to that. Meanwhile, I do like Alabama, though, to win the division. They have an easy schedule lined up ahead of them. A lot easier than Georgia or Florida's, in all fairness. Meanwhile,
that's the head-to-head of Alabama. That's my opinion. I think. Sorry for interrupting, but I think the Dogs take it just off that. I think Georgia loses more and more, but they still have head over Alabama. I don't think Georgia drops 2 is what I'm saying.
I guess it wouldn't count, but I was going to mention Georgia Tech as well that Georgia has to play. And I'm
Yeah.
realizing that last week's going to be loaded.
Yeah. 5 games of the week.
Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia, Georgia Tech, Clemson, South Carolina. Who else is in that last week? Texas A&M will be very entertaining.
We have Miami against.
The show. Will the show play spoiler? We'll have to see. As for my SEC, I like Alabama making it through the division, and I like, on the other side of the conference, LSU. Their toughest games are still ahead with Ole Miss and Arkansas. But I think LSU is comfortably the best team in the SEC. Give me LSU to win the conference over Bama. Danny?
Yeah, give me LSU to also win over Bama. LSU's been playing really well, and they've been very impressive so far. So, give me the Tigers.
Big Bear?
Hopefully, we know Massachusetts.
Well, one thing before we give this, BKKAK. And give me Georgia, one in the East. I don't see them losing 2 more. And give me Ole Miss. Ole Miss.
Really?
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss
Yeah, I
winning
think
the...
Ole Miss, they get the head-to-head starting this week. And I think
Who
they
knows?
run with it.
Hey, who knows? That is this week, and who knows? Maybe Ole Miss will bring out a crane.
I don't know. They're forklift certified? I don't think I get the reference.
Good.
Okay.
Me too. We'll explain later.
I think the one thing keeping me from being gung-ho on Ole Miss is their last matchup as well. They play Mississippi State, who's been very difficult so far. BCS Buster Watch, while we're here, whittled down just to 2 teams, Texas State and Nevada, both of whom have zeros in that loss column. Going through... different thing, who stays unbeaten through the end of the year? Because I looked at their schedule. I think Nevada is the one who drops first. I think Texas State is the one who by the end of the year makes it undefeated. Because right now, look at the teams on each other's schedule. Nevada still has New Mexico State. They still have UNLV, plus a potential rematch with either of them or someone else in the conference championship game coming up. Oh, look out. Oh, he's going all the way. Pick 6.
Pick 6 in the end zone?
There is no end. It's just a zone.
It's just dude.
It's just a dude, man. But as I was saying, Nevada still has UNLV. They still have New Mexico State. And whoever they'll face in the conference championship, the Mountain West is very deep. Meanwhile, the Conference USA, toughest game arguably has already been played for Texas State in their matchup against Southern Miss, as well as non-conference matchups with Kansas State. I like Texas State to make it undefeated. Their toughest game coming up is that UTSA matchup, plus potentially a Marshall or UAB in the conference championship. Though right now, I think Texas State is the most likely we'll see in a BCS Bowl come January. Danny?
Yeah, I think in Texas State's the one who's going to make that spot. I mean, there is a chance Nevada could do it if they run the table and just play spoiler at the end. But I definitely do think Texas State will be most likely to get there out of the 2, but Nevada still has a chance.
Pig Bear?
I think Nevada is more proven overall. Yeah. Hey, maybe we get a BCS matchup with these 2.
Maybe.
The
Moving.
Quarantine Bowl.
While we're here, let's talk about the national championship. Who are our top 2? I've said this before, but I think Louisville is making the national championship right now. I expect them to do it. They have the easiest route moving forward to stay undefeated. I like the Cardinals making it. And I like LSU to make it as well. I'm thinking right now, though, my top 25 is going to flip, or my top matchup is going to flip. I think Louisville will be my number 1 by the time this matchup. It's looking increasingly tougher for Clemson to stay unbeaten, Michigan to stay unbeaten. Washington and USC already had tough routes to stay unbeaten.
I still can't get over this field.
Yeah, this is a special field. I think right now it's LSU and Louisville in my national championship. Danny?
I'm gonna have Clemson against Washington. I really like Clemson. They have performed really well this season. They have beaten a bunch of great opponents. Same thing with Washington. I believe these two have the best resumes out of any team in our current season. I think these two will be playing for the national title later this year.
Whoa, did anybody see that?
Yeah.
Weird camera. Yeah, Pig Bear, who do you have in your national championship?
Give me Washington and Georgia.
Washington, Georgia. You're thinking we're getting a one-loss team?
I think we will. I think Michigan drops one somewhere.
I think Michigan drops one. I think
And
right
I think
now...
Georgia runs the table, and bias kicks in, and Georgia makes the national championship.
I'm thinking right now the one-loss team that's going to make it is Oregon. Oregon's one loss is to the number 2 team, or in a top 3 team in Washington. And I'm thinking that they'll get a win over that same Washington squad in the conference championship. I think if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be the Ducks. Danny, who's your one-loss pick?
My one-loss pick, let me just grab my little sheet again. I think it's going to be... I don't know why, but I am kind of liking... Oh, wait, sorry. I'm kind of liking Texas to possibly make it. Texas, they would have to play Iowa State twice if Iowa State does make the Big 12 championship game. They, of course, already have good wins on their schedule. They do have that blemish to Oklahoma, sure, but I do think that Texas State can win out and possibly make the conference championship game.
That loss to Oklahoma is looking a lot better as time goes on. That's Georgia's only loss. Keep that in mind. But now moving on, let's talk about our games of the week. Starting on October 30th, this Thursday. I'm gonna be out for most of that, but we have a high-profile matchup in the Missouri Valley in Drake and Youngstown. Two of the best teams in that conference are facing off against each other. The Pens are the favorites at home. I like Youngstown to win it. Danny?
Yeah, I'm going to pick Youngstown State to win this one close.
Pig Bear?
You mean Youngstown State?
All right. Texas State, number 12 in the country. Number 12 in the country? Sorry about the wrong ranking. Number 17 in the country, Texas State. Taking on San Houston in their building on Halloween. It's going to be very entertaining there. I like Texas State comfortably in that one, though. Danny?
Yeah, this is going to be a rivalry. This is a rivalry game, actually, as a matter of fact. Little crazy little fun fact with Danny V. But I'm going to pick Texas State to win this one close.
Big Bear?
Give me Tejas State.
Tejas State. Oklahoma, Nebraska, classic Big 8 rivalry in Lincoln. I'm liking the Huskers at home. They are favored in this one. Danny?
I'm going to pick the Huskers as well. I believe Nebraska's going to win this game close. It is a rivalry game. Big noon as well as going to be there, so should be fun at least.
Pig Bear?
Give me the Huskers too. Like the band. Well,
Yeah.
They're from Minnesota, but Husker do. Well, who's Purdue? But they're from Minnesota, so I don't know.
West Virginia and Rutgers. One of the few ranked matchups in our schedule this week. Number 23, West Virginia heads to Piscataway to take on the number 20 Scarlet Knights. West Virginia favored in this one on the road. Give me the Mountaineers to capitalize. Rutgers has been slipping the past few weeks. I like the Mountaineers to win this and potentially eliminate the Scarlet Knights from the division talk. Danny?
Yeah, I think with how much they've been slipping and being embarrassed on national television, I think West Virginia will embarrass Rutgers on here on the Discord server.
Big Bear?
Pepperoni rolls are better than pork rolls. Mountaineers by a million.
I should have a pepperoni roll. Texas A&M.
Bro, they're amazing.
I would love one. Heads to Lubbock to take on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Red Raiders are favored at home against Texas A&M. I like them to remain 6-1 or remain 7-1. Danny?
Let the tortillas fly. Give me Texas Tech.
Big Bear? Or Brad?
No battered Aggie syndrome today. Texas A&M with the upset.
Penn State heads to the shoe to take on Ohio State. Buckeyes overwhelming favorites in this one. I like Ohio State close though over the Nittany Lions. Danny?
Give me Ohio State to win this one. It's gonna be. This is in the same Penn State as before, so I think
What?
Ohio
Wait a
State
minute.
is going to win. Yeah, how can
Yeah.
beat the challenge? Where's the
Are we
end
gonna-
zone line?
After further review, there's not enough evidence.
There's not enough evidence. We don't know where the end zone is.
We don't know where the
It has to be indisputable. Anyway, Big Bear, Penn State, Ohio State, who you picking?
I don't know. Pickford is dying of laughter or not.
There it is.
There he goes.
Penn State. Penn State taking on Ohio State. Who do you got, Big Bear?
Give me Ohio State, pretty big.
All right. North Carolina Tar Heels, off their loss, they've been kind of slipping lately. Can they rebound, or will this be another upset for their opponents, the Dave Show University Truckers? Dave Show, big underdogs at home against the Tar Heels. This is kind of where they've excelled. Unfortunately, the Dave Show one score streak has ended. They lost pretty convincingly to Virginia. However, I like Dave Show with the upset. I think they steal one from the Tar Heels. Danny?
Give me the Truckers.
2 trucker picks. How you thinking, Pig Bear?
I hate to say this, give me Carolina to win.
Carolina definitely needs that win. Keep pace. Utah heads to Autzen to take on number 5 Oregon in Eugene. This was definitely a much higher profile matchup a few months ago. However, Utah is still been playing good at 4-3, but I think Oregon wins this one convincingly. Danny?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Oregon to win this one. Like, what a brutal stretch Utah's been having, but I definitely do think Oregon's gonna win this one.
Had they flipped that Wisconsin matchup, we'd be having a different conversation, I think. Pig Bear?
Give me Oregon winning this one.
All right. Number 6, ranked Miami, taking on Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. This has all the makings of a trap game. I like Virginia Tech. A loss here for Miami would definitely keep the coastal wide open. Danny?
Give me Miami to win this one close. I do think Virginia Tech has a great chance, and if they do win, this will put eyes in the hearts of the computers. But
Yeah,
give me Miami to win this one.
it'll be a win that the CPU swoons over. Pig Bear?
I just love in your eyes tonight.
Friday night in real life at 4 o'clock one night. 4 o'clock, I'm eating Chick-fil-A with my friend in the Dillard Dining Hall at Appalachian State University. I go to refill my lemonade. I get back. My friend Isaac, what does he ask me? Do you want to go to Blacksburg, Virginia tonight for the Virginia Tech California game? I say, yeah, obviously. One question, how are we getting there? Neither of us have a car up here. So after about 30 minutes of scrambling, his friend's like, yeah, we'll do it. We don't leave here until 5:20. So we get there beginning the second quarter. Full experience. Lane will be rocking for this one. Enter Sandman, loud as possible. Virginia Tech in the upset. Well, I missed kickoff. They played it in overtime, so it was really cool.
I'm sure it's a fun experience going to Lane. I gotta head out to Michigan Stadium at some point. I've never been. From that environment to an NFL environment, we head to Jacksonville as the number 8 Georgia Bulldogs take on the Florida Gators. And it feels like the positions from a few years ago are swapped. If you remember, Florida was the one playing well, and Georgia was the one who had to get the upset win to claw their way in. But for now, it's Georgia in that position. Could Florida get this win to keep them alive in the SEC East? I actually do like Florida in this. It's going to be in Jacksonville. It's the closest thing to a home environment Florida's going to have for the rest of this stretch. Give me the Gators in an upset. Danny?
I'm going to pick the Dogs to win this one, as the Gators, they will be able to play tough, and there might be a fight on the field here and there. But I think Georgia's going to win the world's largest cocktail party.
We need fights in this game. We need fights and crowd storming in this game.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I know why they don't do
Put
it,
in NEA.
but like, I know why they don't do it, because they're worried it'll tarnish the reputation. But you use it in all your promo videos.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thinking. Pig Bear, what are your
Flag
thoughts?
planting.
Wrong game. I said it's great to be a Georgia Bulldog. Give me Georgia winning here.
Wrap up with some Pac-12, not after dark, but on the CW. Might as well be.
I call it 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
2 o'clock Pacific. Arizona State, still with that one loss. They head to Fresno to take on the Bulldogs. This is a very tricky Fresno team. I like Fresno State handing ASU their second loss in the year. Danny?
I think I'm going to pick ASU to win this one close. ASU, they've been playing well. They've been playing good. And Fresno State, they can pull off the upset, but I'm going to pick ASU to win this one and hopefully jump back in the top 25.
If you remember, Arizona State was the first team we saw win back in week 0. Pig Bear?
Give me Fresno with the upset. Well, not really upset. Home win.
I think it's an upset for sure.
Yeah, it's an upset.
And now we move to our 2KU game of the week, and it's the Magnolia Bowl. Formerly a Halloween staple on the 2KU, now moved into Saturday slots. LSU is number 3 in the country, and they have been the boogeyman of the SEC the past few years. They won it in 2021 and 2022. They've had some rough seasons recently, but it seemed to coalesce back into contention for the Tigers. Meanwhile, Ole Miss is putting together its best season in quite some time, after being a bottom feeder in their conference for a little while. Ole Miss is 5-3. LSU is 7-0 entering this matchup in Oxford. It's going to be very entertaining. LSU favored by 10 in this one. I like LSU on the road to remain undefeated. Danny?
I'm going to pick a party in the Grove. Give me Ole Miss in the upset.
All right, Pig Bear, send us home.
Toddy, y'all somebody. Who the heck are we? Ole Miss with the upset.
The Ole Miss upset picked twice. It'd be the biggest upset we've seen all season in a game. A top 3 team
Also,
going down to the next spot.
BKKAK.
I'm going to ask what that means after the stream. Thank you all so much for watching. Coming up on Saturday, we have LSU Ole Miss. Tune into the It's One Joey 101 Discord server. We're going to be having games each weekday, including potentially, depending on how late we're up or how early Danny's up, we'll have a Friday night matchup between Texas State and Sam Houston. Stay tuned for that. Thank you all so much for watching, and so long from the